Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to be doing more of a kind of battle report. Now I've got more recorded, but this is going to be the first one I'm actually going to put on the channel. So as you can see, it's going to be Imperial Guard versus Eldar. It's about 2,600 points, so quite a big game on more of a kind of deserty board. So let's dive straight into the armies. So first of all, I'll do the Imperial army. So the majority of it is Imperial Guard, and then I've got a few allied Adeptus Mechanicus, and then a few allied Space Marines. So my main HQ is my command squad, which I can't actually see where it is at the minute. Oh, it's at the back. So as you can see, I've got my lieutenant or officer, a mortar, and then a master box. I've then got my other command squad, so my kind of infantry platoon command squad, with a melter gun, a power fist, an army banner, a medic, and a psyker. So then, basing the Imperial Guard, I've got 4 regular squads. I've got one here with a heavy bolter and a grenade launcher. I've then got one here with a flamer and a missile launcher. I've got one with a missile launcher and a grenade launcher. And then one with just a flamer here, so it's more of a close-up kind of squad. I've then got a veteran squad. I've got a squad of 5 Ogrins that I've built up. Just regular Ogrins, really. I don't particularly like the Bullgrins or anything, so I've just gone with regular standard Ogrins. I've left the bayonets off their Ripper guns, because I didn't think they look very good. That's just a personal thing. I've then got a mortar platoon, so 3 mortars, which I really enjoy using. I said the veterans already. I've then got a sniper up here, a sentinel with a multi-laser, which is a bit silhouetted and shadowed there, but you can see it kind of there-ish. Then got a lemon russ with 2 heavy bolters, a las cannon, and a battle cannon. And then I've got a demolisher with twin multi-motors, las cannon, and the dreaded demolisher cannon, as you can see. I then have a Baneblade. So that's obviously the most expensive thing in my army. I've just built it as a regular Baneblade. I might look in future at getting a Shadow Sword or something, but probably not. So, yeah, as I say, box standard Baneblade, painted up in the same colour scheme as the rest of my tanks. On the AdMech front, I've then got a Tech Priest with a bodyguard of 5 Skitarii, with my nice flashy converted sergeant. I've then got an old pattern Rhino that the AdMech have been keeping going through the millennium, that's going to be transporting a regular squad of Skitarii. There. And then hopefully, the Space Marines will be in time to deep strike kind of into the middle of the board and aid the guard where they need it. So I've got just a kind of regular tactical squad, so a sergeant with a plasma pistol and a power sword, a flamer, and then in the middle you can see a heavy bolter. That's the Imperial Guard army. Just give you a quick few overview shots. There'll be more pictures and videos on my Instagram if you guys want to check me out there. Okay, onto the Eldar army. So this is obviously a much smaller army than I've got, but far more of an elite army. So going in with the HQ, here's the Avatar in all its glory there. A Death Jester, I think they're called, I can't remember. A unit of Harlequins. You can see there, painted in there. Painted in there, can't think of the word. Standard colours, painted in their standard colours. I've then got, sorry, it's my dad's army. My dad then has 6 jet bikes with 1 shuriken catapult, you can see there. Shuriken cannon, I mean. Then a Viper in the back with a bright lance. Then a Falcon with obviously a bright lance and a shuriken cannon. And then a shuriken cannon underslung. Moving through the middle, there's a unit of striking scorpions, unit of 5 with an X-Arch with the scorpion claw. And then another unit of 5 striking scorpions, again with an X-Arch with an eviscerator, I think. I'm not an expert on Eldar stuff, or Dark Eldar for that matter. Then 1 unit of Storm Guardians with a Flamer and a Fusion Gun, I think they're cool. Effectively a melt gun. In the back, 5 Wraith Guard with Wraith Guns. And then 5 Wraith Blades. With only 1 Warlock, which is interesting. 2 Warwalkers, each with a Shuriken Catapult and a Scatter Laser. And then an Eldar Phantom Knight with 2 Scatter Lasers. My dad converted that slightly to mount the gun on the underneath of the arm. It was quite a simple conversion, but it just looks better than having it on the side. And then over here, there's 1 Eldar Dreadnought with a Bright Lance, a Flamer, and a Shuriken Catapult. And then a Falcon with a twin-linked Pulse Laser? Something like that. To transport the Wraith Blades. So again, as I did with the Imperial Guard, I'll give you a quick few overview shots. Okay, so with both armies out of the way, I thought I'd get a quick video of the board. So we picked up some of these big rocks at Salute, and we used them once before unpainted. But now they're painted, and we use them for the first time, which gives us more of a kind of rocky outcrop. Surrounded by some of our plants. And then over here we've got a bit more kind of patches of woodland. This is quite a sparse area of the board. You can see a bit of a Tyrannid bio egg machine. And then in the middle there's 1 big ruined building that will give us something to fight over through the middle. So quite a few open patches of terrain, and then quite a few big pieces that will block line of sight. So it'll be an interesting board to fight. Right, okay, so deployment is finished. I'll just give you guys a quick overview. So starting on the Eldar side, the Knight went, the Eldar Wraith Knight went behind this big pillar to try and get out of sight of the tanks, which has mostly successfully managed to do. Behind here, we've then got the Eldar Dreadnought and the Avatar. Now, the Avatar, my dad announced, is going to go Baneblade hunting. So I have to try to sneak through the rocks to try and get to it, which will be quite interesting. The Striking Scorpions, obviously, have hidden behind there, ready to strike like scorpions. The Falcon has given itself a nice line of fire into my units of guard through the middle, and obviously with the Baneblade there too. This side, the jet bikes have lined up ready to shoot forward alongside the Viper. And then obviously we've got the Wraith Guard, the Guardians, the Warwalkers, the Harlequins, and then the Falcon with the Wraith Blades in it, ready to storm forward around the flank. So coming over to my flank, I have the Veteran set up here, ready to get a nice line of fire out towards either the Falcon or the Warwalkers, as you can see through the middle there. I also, over here, have the Skitarii in their Rhino. And then got this squad of Guardsmen, supported by the Sentinel, ready to move forward and target just kind of the majority of the army there. Behind here, I then have the Ogrins and the infantry platoon command squad that are going to move up and try and take the building, which is occupied by 5 Striking Scorpions. At the very back, I have the mortars ready to start shelling the Eldar line, which will be quite fun. I've then got the Demolisher here, which is kind of supporting my middle. It itself is then supported by a unit of Imperial Guard that have given their missile launcher a nice field of fire. I've then got the Tech Priest and his 5 Skitarii bodyguard next to the Baneblade, which has again got a nice field of view there to just blast the Eldar from turn 1 really. And I've also positioned it behind cover as much as I can. Excuse me, to give myself as much cover from any Eldar fire that I'll be expecting. The sniper has infiltrated and set up here, ready to try and pop off some quick shots. I've then got my command squad that have set up in one of the safest places they could. We've given their mortar enough arc to shoot over the rock. I've then got on this further side, this squad of Imperial Guardsmen, so the one without any heavy weapons. They're going to be my more mobile squad. They'll probably end up at some point in combat with the striking scorpions. I've then got another Lemon Rust supporting my left flank. Another squad of Imperial Guard. As you can see, one of them lost his head, but we'll forget about that. He'll probably die soon enough. So yeah, it'll be quite an interesting game. The Eldar have a very supportive flank on the left, less deployed in the middle, and then a very heavy right flank. I've fully spread my stuff largely across the entirety of the board. So I'll have to have quite a lot of moving, I think, to get towards the Eldar. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, and I'll return back. Okay, so starting from the same place as last time, I went first. As you can see, I've moved up a bit. So I've moved this whole contingent up to get closer to the Eldar through there. I moved the Baneblade forward a couple of inches. You can see I moved my Skitarii up there trying to make a dash for the cover there. This whole batch here has moved forward towards the building. They're still nicely in cover, and the building will be quite a tactical advantage if I can take it. The Rhino began to storm forward in its classic fashion towards the Eldar line. That's kind of all my movement, really. I moved my Lemon Rust in the middle there forward ever so slightly. So over here, what I killed. So my heavy bolter through the trees there got a lucky shot onto the Harlequins and took one out. The mortars at the very back there, you can see, it's a bit blurry, but you can see them there. Managed to score a very lucky combined direct hit, which took out the entire squad of Storm Guardians. From round here, Lemon Rust from across the valley got a hit on the jet bike with its heavy bolter and took one out. And if I pull back round through here again, as you can see, if you can get a grip, the Falcon is smoking. Because I had another very lucky hit from this squad of Imperial Guard here with their missile launcher, straight down the middle, took out its engine, which immobilised it obviously, and caused it to crash. So quite a lucky first turn for me, I'd say. Probably won't be as lucky again. Now I've got to survive the Eldar counterattack. So I'll be back at the end of the Eldar turn. Okay, starting off from this side of the board this time, obviously the Eldar turn. So the knight moved round to the side, took a shot at Baneblade. We'll get to that in a minute. The Scorpions moved from their rocky cover. So did the Avatar and the Dreadnought. It's destroyed. The Bites kind of shuffled forward a bit. Haven't really gone anywhere yet. The Wraith Guard moved forward out of the trees there. That Warwalker was immobilised last time, I forgot to say, if that's not going anywhere. The other Warwalker, the Viper, and the Harlequins, and the other Wave Serpent have just moved forward towards my flank. So during the shooting phase, the Rhino took a bit of a battery, it was stunned, and his Havoc launcher was blown off the top of it as well. Around this side, the Knight shot down with its twin scatter lasers and killed 3 of the Skitarii, including my nice converter sergeant, always the way. And also hit the Baneblade. As you can see, it's smoking because its driver was stunned and also lost half its movement. So not a bad turn yet. That's in turn 1, so I'll be back at the end of my turn 2. Okay, so it was another really good turn for the guard. If we go from left to right, the Baneblade shot through here. I think it was a Baneblade, yeah, with one of its heavy bolters, and killed 2 of them. Moving around here, not much happened there. I didn't manage to score any hits with the guardsmen. Any of the guardsmen, actually. This mortar scored a direct hit over the Scorpions, but then deviated 6 inches away, so didn't get anything there. Yeah, the Baneblade here shot right through at the Knight. You can see it standing through there, you can see it. Scored a direct hit straight on its chest. But I only managed to stun it, so it can't move. The rest of its guns against the knight caused minimal effect. I had both las cannon turrets shoot up at it. Didn't score any hits. The heavy bolter, well, both heavy bolters here, sponsor them there and there, and the demolisher cannon managed to finish off, well, actually completely wipe out the wraith guard, as you can see. The sniper managed to score a hit through on the striking scorpions in the building, but didn't cause any wounds. After the last salvo of shooting, you can see that the Skitarii now keeping pace with the Baneblade and getting behind it, so they won't be hit again like they were. Round on this side, you can see I've had troops move into the building through there now. They're about to engage with the striking scorpions. Round here, if I get a quick bit of video of my combined line. So the Rhino was stunned last turn. Obviously didn't do anything. I should have had the Skitarii get out, but that's a bit of an oversight on my part. The combined shooting of my entire flank killed 3 Harlequins, which isn't brilliant, but given the rest of my turn, it was quite another quite good turn, I think. So that's how it's going at the end of my second turn. I'm on to the Eldar second turn. The knight, obviously with a motor, was stunned, so he couldn't move. The striking scorpions had a bit more of a turn over here. Shot and then charged as a unit of Imperial Guardsmen. Only killed 3, but took no loss. And they're still engaged in assault. The Avatar threw his Suandali spear at the Lemon Rust, but it was fine. The combined firepower of both the Wraith Lord and the Wraith Knight killed the sniper and stunned the Baneblade, so it cannot shoot its Baneblade cannon this turn, which is a bit of an issue really, but hey ho, just have to survive with that. The jet bikes didn't move again, they're waiting for their moment. Excuse me. Striking scorpions remain lurking in the back. The Harlequins, what's left of them, stormed into the building, made an absolute mess of the command squad that moved in. As you can see, their bodies are just draped on the ground, and then pursued into the Ogrins, who will be swift in taking their revenge. Around here, the Wraith Guard disembarked from their Wave Serpent, but weren't able to assault. The Dark Reaper? That's not the word. Anyway, him shot a screamer round straight down here and killed the plasma gun from the veteran squad, but luckily it didn't explode and cause any other harm. So that's the end of Eldar turn 2, and it'll next be Imperial Guard turn 3. Start of a new day, and following on from the end of my third turn. So if you start off on this side first, this combat continued, and the guard lost 2 casualties and took 1 scorpion with them, so kind of minor damage there. I obviously lost the combat and passed my leadership test, so that will continue for now. My combined shooting from my Lemon Russ and my guard squad here took 2 wounds off the Avatar, which half killed it. That's going okay. The Baneblade over here didn't really score much damage particularly at all. Quite lucky really. Its main cannon couldn't fire. Its las cannons didn't cause any damage, I don't think, on the Eldar Knight. Its heavy bolters over here accounted for the Warwalker. As you can see, it's destroyed on the far side of the board. And my shooting from over here managed to kill a further 1 jet bike that's been sitting in reserve for the whole game. That'll teach you not to sit around. Around here, as I said, the Ogrins were quick in exacting their revenge and killed both Harlequins from 1 round of shooting. As you can see here, yes, the Emperor's Angels the dreaded Adeptus Astartes managed to come in their drop pod right where I wanted them and began exacting the Emperor's will. My combined firepower on this side managed to kill 3, what are they called? Wraithblades, which was quite lucky really, because I think 2 failed their armor save, which they had a 3 up, so that was quite lucky. My firepower here also immobilized the second Warwalker and killed a Death Jester. Remember what it's called. None of my units could charge. As you can see, my Plasma Caliber wielding Skitari, the Plasma Caliber actually overheated, so he died. So, a relatively average turn, I'd say. Not much happened, which is kind of good in a way, because I was really beating the Eldar. So, I'll be back again at the end of turn 3 for the Eldar. Okay, so, end of Eldar turn 3. It was a much better turn for the Eldar this turn. I'll just run you through quickly what happened. So, down with the Striking Scorpion combat, which I'm sure you're all really want to know about. 2 more Guard died, and 1 Striking Scorpion died. And again, the Imperial Guard passed the leadership test. Should have some more comments of that yet. Right, around here, the Avatar charged into this unit of Imperial Guardsmen here. Having then, they were shot at as well, which killed, 6 of them, and the other 4 ran away. And he then overran towards the Baneblade, which in my mind is a bit of a suicidal decision, but could potentially be quite game-winning if he does much damage. The Tech Priest suffered another wound, I think from the... I think it might have been from the Viper, actually, I can't remember now. If we bring it round here, you can see it's a bit more of a fiasco over here. Where the Admate got out, they then were shot and charged by about everything over here, and the entire squad was wiped out. No, still can't remember the name. No, none of these guys suffered any wounds at all this turn, so they were alright. Around here, 1 more Space Marine died from this combat squad. This combat squad was entirely wiped out from the combined shooting from the jet bikes and the combat from the Striking Scorpions. So as you can see, a bit more of an exciting turn for the Eldar. And that'll be Imperial Guard retaliating for their 4th turn. See you later. Okay, it's officially starting to kick off now. As you can see over here, this combat got a bit exciting. Not much died, but the combined shooting from this side took out 1 Wraithblade. I then charged in where the Wraithblades had charged the Space Marines with my Ogrins, who then killed a Warlock. I suffered no loss on this side, so that was quite lucky. The rest of my shooting on this side killed 3 Striking Scorpions, but they passed their leadership test. Pulling it over here, my shooting through the middle blew off the Shuriken Catapult on the bottom of the Viper. And I think that was from... I think it's from this squad of Imperial Guard with their missile launcher. The Baneblade over here shot at the Avatar and took 1 more wound off of it. His main cannon shot up at the Wraith Knight, but its shot was slightly wide and impacted on the rock next to him. The rest of it shooting, the Demolisher cannon took a wound off of this Eldar Dreadnought, and its heavy bolters didn't manage to score. No, actually, the heavy bolters scored a wound on the Avatar. The other heavy bolters didn't score any damage. This combat over here continued. The Exarch killed 2 of the remaining guardsmen, but the veteran sergeant passed his morale test. So quite an interesting turn. I think it's going to be more of an interesting turn for the Eldar now, because more damage will start to be done on my Baneblade. Sorry, before I move on, the shooting from the Baneblade did manage to stun both scatter lasers on the knight, and also prevented it from moving this turn. So that's quite good, because it meant it didn't get any closer to attack and charge the Baneblade. But the Avatar is now within charging range with a single wound remaining. It's going to be quite an interesting turn, and I'll be back as soon as I can with turn 4 from the Eldar. So, it was a really good turn for the Eldar. this turn. I'll start back round here. So the Striking Scorpions killed a further 3 Space Marines. And the Ogrinson killed the final... Oh, still can't think of it. Wraith Blade. The veterans around here were shot at by the Warwalker, who killed 2, and then the remaining 2 fled. Round here, the Bright Lance from the Viper shot at the Baneblade, but only caused minimum damage. I'm not sure it caused any damage. But the Dreadnought, who was still hiding behind the rocks at that point, he was about here, shot at the Lemon Rust as well and destroyed it. Over here, as you can see, the Baneblade is now looking very sorry for itself, because not only did the Avatar charge it, but the Wraithlord, the Dreadnought, also charged it as well. It took off the remaining 2 structure points, but then it regained 1 from an unlucky roll on the catastrophic damage chart, which is a 3rd edition thing, which meant it regained the structure points. That's quite funny. However, its remaining movement was stripped away from it by several attacks. It lost its twin heavy bolter on the side sponsor on the right, and also its twin heavy bolter turret at the front. So they're both gone. Over on this side, the Striking Scorpion killed the final guardsman over here and then skulked around the side of the Lemon Rust, protecting himself from the command squad, who I think have bigger problems than him at the minute. So yeah, that's the end of Eldar turn 3. It'll be my turn 4 next. Okay, so end of Imperial Guard turn 4 or 5, I'm not sure. It wasn't much of a turn from me, really. If you start with my Baneblade, I caused minimal damage and only minimal damage, really. I destroyed the Knight's sword arm, as you can see there. But I think that was it there. From this side, I killed another 1 jet bike, which did cause them to flee. The Imperial Guard here moving to the building, not much really there, slight strategic advantage if anything happens to pass through the gap. I caused a glancing hit on the Warwalker, which prevented it from shooting this turn from the Rhino's bolter, and the Storm bolter from the drop pod as well. I think it was a drop pod actually that caused damage. This side, the Striking Scorpions killed 2 Ogrins with no loss. Luckily though, both of my Space Marine and Ogrin units passed a morale check. Space Marine rolling a double 1 for the 2nd time. He's absolutely fine. I think that was largely it. Yeah, that was it. So a bit of a poor turn for me, and I think it's going to be at least a decent turn for the Eldar next. We'll have to see what happens for Eldar turn 4 or 5. Okay, everyone. So end of Eldar turn 5, and the Eldar have effectively won it now. As you can see, the Baneblade, amidst a pummel of attacks and shots, has finally fallen. Both the Avatar and the Wraith Lord attacking it has ripped to shreds. You can see it's now billowing smoke from many holes. On this side too, the Striking Scorpion Exarch managed to destroy the Lemon Rust single-handed. Through the middle, as you can see, the Wraith Knight shot its main cannon down into this guard squad and killed 8 of them. I haven't made my leadership test, but it doesn't really matter now. Round here, the Striking Scorpions killed a whole Ogrin and put a wound on another one, and lost 1. That's kind of all that happened, but at that point we decided that I can't really claw it back now with the guard, so we're calling that as now our victory. What's left of the Imperial forces will retreat back to the base. So a good game, all in all really. It was very close. I thought, well, it wasn't particularly close. I thought I had it towards the start, and the Eldar pulled it back for a convincing victory at the end. But a good exciting game nonetheless. It was nice using the super heavies. And the rules worked for them, which is always a bit of a interesting thing to think about. So again, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this first of my battle report videos. Until next time, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like this video, and leave a comment. Cheers guys, see you next time.